Hey Book Club, Dan here from Women Book Club. I want to share with you today one of the greats. It's the Queen's Thief series by Megan Whalen Turner. Now, I think that probably this is one of those series where other fellow authors will go and tell Megan Whalen Turner to her face how amazing she is and how amazing her story is, because it really is. And then they'll go back into their own private homes and cry themselves into their pillows because of how amazing the Queen's Thief is, and they just wish they could be like Megan Whalen Turner and have produced this amazing, amazing series. And I'm excited to share it with you today. So if you haven't read it before, I think you're going to want to check out The Queen's Thief by Megan Whalen Turner. Now this is book one. It's called The Thief. I read this one several years ago. Book one was published actually 24 years ago. Now, I didn't read it 24 years ago. I originally read the first 4 books in the series, a handful of years ago, maybe 6 or 7 years ago. And I was absolutely smitten. Now, book 5 was published 3 years ago. But I held on to it because I knew book 6 was coming, and it was just published last month. And if you're keeping track, that's 25 years to wait. It's all out now. The series is published. It's been a quarter of a decade in the making, but it's all out now. No reason to wait. So go out and you can start reading the series now. Now, I reread it to prepare for book 6. I reread it recently, the entire series. I started at book 1 and then I just finished book 6. And when I got to book 5, I was thrilled to have something new to read for the first time from the series, and book 6 was everything that I hoped it would be, and I love The Queen's Thief. My original review for this series was kind of obnoxiously flattering back when I rewrote it originally. And while all of my silly hyperbole is still valid for the series, I did feel like after my reread, I needed to update my thoughts. So, okay, here's my updated and hopefully improved review of The Queen's Thief. Megan Whalen Turner has created an amazing world. I mean, picture kings and queens like in any medieval story, but set in ancient Greece. And also there's gunpowder. So it's not like not like completely swords only and arrows only. Those are there, but there's also gunpowder and cannons. So it's a little bit different in that way from other stories that you might find. So there's also, it's set in ancient Greece, not in ancient Greece, but just picture like ancient Greece. There's a complex, like Greek-style polytheistic culture. Totally cool. I love it a lot. This world is amazing. It's completely, the gods in this world all actually happen to take a real interest in what happens and reveal themselves at times. The characters in The Queen's Thief are tremendous. And honestly, I don't know if I can compare them to anything else I've read, really. Every character is an absolute favorite, but I do have to say that Eugenides, the star of this show, he is the Queen's Thief himself. Just ask him, he'll tell you, he can steal anything. He may honestly be the greatest literary character ever written. I know that sounds crazy, but he might be. At least top 5, maybe. It's one of the most well-written and clever series of books I've ever read. It's fantastic fantasy at its finest. You're going to find a story that is both heart-touching and heart-stopping. There are heroic heroes, vile villains, lessons to learn, kingdoms to save, twists to try to anticipate and fail to anticipate. Now, the twists are my favorite. I mean, just when you think you have it, you realize you've been long conned since before you even knew you needed to watch out for the trick. And the love story might be the most unexpected, unique, and beautiful love story I have ever read. Now, book 1, The Thief, was actually a Newbery Honor recipient back in its day. And it is an amazing, wonderful story. But I do have a little fear that after this, raving review, people are going to pick up The Thief and might be disappointed, because The Thief, book 1, is a journey story. literally. I mean, the bulk of the book is actually about the characters taking a journey, and it's a long journey. In fact, it's 250 pages of world and character building, where the only thing that happens is some walking and talking and setup for everything that's going to happen after. So 250 pages of all that, followed by 30 pages of a huge, amazing, awesome reveal, which makes everything totally worth it. So I'm only saying this so that you'll be aware. I love it. Just don't be daunted if you read book 1 and think to yourself, what the heck was Dan talking about? Because trust me, I know what comes next, and it is amazing. Read the Queen's Thief series. Now, book 1, The Thief, it sets the stage nicely. You'll just need to be ready to appreciate a nice slow build to the climax. And like I said, trust me, it is worth it. All of it is packaged in an amazing 6-book series with 0 content concerns. It's accessible to all readers of all ages. Now, there are some complexities in the story, like names and the storyline itself, the language that is used. So I wouldn't necessarily call this a children's book, but certainly advanced, say like 12 and up, could appreciate and enjoy The Queen's Thief without being concerned with the content. So anyway, this is the Queen's Thief series by Megan Whalen Turner. A huge, huge fan. I think you're going to enjoy it too. Book 6 is finally out after a quarter of a century, so it's time to jump in. Happy reading, everyone.